As grateful as I am for everyone's unwavering love and support, the best way that you can show solidarity, we want to use our voices to expose injustice. Bear with me.
I wonder what you fear. What fog perturbs your peaceful moments? Do you dream easily, or are you insomnia's pet? Because I lose sleep over you, a person I've never met. Will your wig itch or your gown grow stuffy in these hollowed halls? Will you be biased or worse, disinterested? Do you feel the gentle beat of my life there in your hands? Or is my fate as remarkable a pebble on a million pebble beach? Your hands that craft the future, as yet unsculpted. Will you lose sleep over my future? Or are these interminable nights just for me? Thank you.
Where we are interrogated multiple times a day.
And then one day, just over a year ago, I was woken up on a Saturday morning. Are you Bonnie? I said yes. Are you Ian Sanders' mother? I said yes. And it was the solicitor who said your son is in prison, is in police custody. What the? Anyway, so let me tell you about his arrest, because it was truly shocking. They all had really shocking. Ian is not different. Some of the families here have had even more horrendous tales. But his story was, he was on holiday with his girlfriend in a holiday cottage, and they were having breakfast one morning, and they looked out the window and saw these armed police. You know, the men in black with the black helmets, the black gear, the guns, circling the cottage. So he opened the back door and went outside and said, "Are you looking for me?" He didn't resist arrest. He had 4 guns pointing at his head. And we all remember tragically what happened to Charles de Menzies, I can never say his name, and others. But fortunately, he was okay.
Palestine is also freeing us from the shackles of hypocrisy and individualism.
Here is humanity uniting, coming together. The next stage is, if you cannot even do it with your tongue, then you feel it in your heart. You've heard a lot about the poem about the heart, and that is the lowest form of your belief in Iman. After that, if you do not even have that feeling in your heart, then there is no Iman and belief left for you. So we are reminding the Muslim, and we are grateful to all the non-Muslims for your support and showing that, yes, indeed, you do not have to be a Muslim to support Palestine. It is humanity. It is your coming and uniting against for freedom for Palestine, for equality and for justice. May Almighty Allah accept all of your efforts. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. Allahumma a'inna ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik.
Hi, my name is Broen. My brother Broen Develin is one of the Filton 24. Today we're here gathering to stand with the Filton 24 and to talk about Palestine and just to stand together in solidarity and just recognise that it's been a whole year since our loved ones has been locked up for the crime of just disabling weapons to try and prevent a genocide. Those weapons are made here in the UK at Elbit Systems, and our government is allowing that to happen. Our government is an active participant in this genocide by allowing companies like Elbit Systems and BAE Systems to sell arms to Israel to profit from arms that are battle-tested on Palestinians. And today we mark a whole year since they were taken. They were rearrested by terror police, which questioned them day and night. They weren't allowed to speak to any of us. We didn't actually know that Jordan was arrested. And still to this day, the police still haven't contacted us to tell us that Jordan was arrested. If it wasn't for a few amazing people finding out, we wouldn't know. They're in awful conditions in prison, so we're also fighting for those conditions. They are locked up 23 hours a day, sometimes 23 and a half. The prison actually only has to legally give them half an hour outside of their cell, which is shocking. They're not allowed to have jobs because of the terrorist label either, which you can imagine what that does to someone. And today we also spoke about one of the prisoners, T, who's on hunger strike because her rights were taken away from her in prison. Another example of how they are using the Terrorism Act just to abuse these prisoners who are political prisoners who shouldn't even be in there in the first place because they have met all the conditions for bail. But T had her job taken away from her. She's had her meal withdrawn, and so she is on hunger strike for day 5, and they haven't even bothered to do a welfare check on her. These prisons are just using the prisoners to an unsafe point. There's been 2 deaths last week in Bronzefield where most of the women are kept, and it just shows a complete neglect by the staff. But today we've all come together to stand against that and to stand for Palestine, and it's been really beautiful to see the turnout. It's been really beautiful to speak to people and see how much people care and how much everyone here is ready to both stand for the Filton 24 and to stand for Palestine, and we will continue to fight for Palestine. We will continue to fight for the Filton 24.
So my name is Faruq. I'm the mother of Zara Faruq, one of the Filton 24. And today we are, it's the anniversary of the first year of the Filton, of some of the Filton 18 who have spent 1 year in prison on remand. So my daughter has been in prison for 9 months now and on remand, and she will still have to wait for 10 months before her trial. Yes, so today we wanted to mark this date of 1 year in prison while they still haven't been, sentenced, and it's beyond the 6 months maximum time you are supposed to stay in prison on remand, and that is due to the connection they are trying to make with the terrorism connection they are trying to put on the Filton 24, while they are just only have allegedly done a protest action against the arm factory, the Israeli arm factory on the UK soil, Elbit system. So we can see that the government is trying to criminalize any activity or activism, pro-Palestinian activism, and there is an abuse of power, and they are trying to shut down any voices for Palestine, which is totally absurd, and that I can't understand, because those people, the activists, are trying to do whatever they can to stop a genocide, to save babies and children and civilians, and the government is trying to stop those people saving those lives. And on the contrary, they are trying to help the arm. Still haven't done a full embargo against the arm sell to the Israeli government, and they are not doing anything. They are just helping them, and so that's something which doesn't make sense in a so-called civilized democracy like UK. I would say that, not from me, but from Zara and the Filton 24, they want people to do whatever they can to stop this genocide, that they want their sacrifice not to be in vain, and that we all stand up against this oppression, and that whatever mean we have, whatever platform we have to use it, to utilize it, whether it is your professional platform or your Instagram account or your local community, and try to think, how can I do my bit and how can I make a change?